Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Sunday, November the 5th. Hope you're doing well on this Sunday morning. Today, if you are in an area, I think most areas in the United States at least, where you had to turn your clocks back, hopefully you remembered to do that. It's something that we are told to do that we kind of have to follow through with. If we don't, then we're going to be not on the right time when we go to appointments and whatnot. We may or may not agree with it, but it's something that we kind of have to do. There's those have tos in life. So hopefully you remember to turn your clocks back. In any event, I am going to ask you now to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Matthew, chapter 23, verses 1 through 12. Jesus spoke to the crowds and to his disciples, saying, "The scribes and the Pharisees have taken their seat on the chair of Moses. Therefore, do and observe all things whatsoever they tell you, but do not follow their example. For they preach, but they do not practice. They tie up heavy burdens, hard to carry, and lay them on people's shoulders, but they will not lift a finger to move them. All their works are performed to be seen. They widen their phylacteries and lengthen their tassels. They love places of honor at banquets, seats of honor in synagogues, greetings in marketplaces, and the salutation, Rabbi. As for you, do not be called Rabbi. You have but one teacher, and you are all brothers. Call no one on earth your father. You have but one Father in heaven. Do not be called Master, for you have one Master, the Christ. The greatest among you must be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted." Back in my Bell Atlantic days, we were in a sales office at the time, and we were faced with a pretty serious issue that we had to get around in pricing of the products that we were selling. There was a staff member in Maryland at the time, and his job was to tackle these problems. Well, we got together and we were talking about it, and we had to approach this individual, and he had said, "Look, I'm not getting involved. You figure it out yourselves." And I was quite taken back, and I had a confrontation with him on the phone, and I said, "This is your responsibility to help us with this, but if you're not, then we will do what we need to do." We followed up with a meeting amongst ourselves, and one of the other managers said to me, "Well, he's one of the smartest people I know, so he has a lot of value." And I'm like, "No, it's kind of like a surgeon who is extremely talented but will not operate on anybody. If you do not apply what you have, then I have less respect for you." And I carried that through my business life. And certainly, as I always used to have to do, I used to have to check and balance myself. But when it came to others, I didn't care how much they knew. I cared how much they did. Well, it kind of fits very well into the gospel that we just heard. A gospel that I have to wonder if sometimes some people who run religious institutions were trying to remove this gospel from the gospel of St. Matthew. How true it is that we must look at all of what we know and apply it to what we do. I am the first to admit that sometimes it was difficult for me to carry through on the rosary, prayer for Christians, as you may be aware. How many Hail Marys did I say? Did I do this? And I used to get a little bit frustrated with something like that because to me it was not as important as what we did. So it comes down to that, doesn't it? But I think there is a happy medium here. The happy medium is connecting what you know to what you do. So if you're going through each day now in the life of faith and you decide that your morning routine is to say to our fathers, just as an example, and you know them so well, and you know the history of the Our Father, and you know exactly where to pause when saying the prayer, don't stop there. Instead, act on it. Give this day our daily bread. Be thankful more so that day. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Forgive more that day. Make a connection. And if you're on the end where you do more than you know, then yeah, spend a little time. It might complement what you do, learning a little bit more about the prayer. So I think that what we can do to make this gospel very positive is to make that connection to what we know, connection to what we do, and wherever we feel we need a little bit more knowledge or help, go in that direction, learn a little bit more, and put it all together for good. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Sunday. I hope it was helpful. I always ask you to take it into your day and into your week. If it was helpful for you, share it on your page for others. I always welcome your comments and your thoughts. I thank you for being here always. Let us now take a moment or two of reflection in silence, and then I'll end with a prayer. Most loving God, we thank you for all the examples that you put before us. We ask you for the consistent wisdom and grace to assist our faith and the faith of others, to follow and learn more from those examples. Learn from them, put them into action, recognize where we need to work on a little bit more. Do just that for your kingdom and for the peace and compassion to be spread to this world. My friends, I wish you all a wonderful Sunday, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everyone.